Hey everyone, my name is Kevin Daly and I'm a professor of art and design in Chicago, and I've never done anything like this before, posted a product review, but I was extremely impressed with both this product, the Valyrian Pod Kit by UWELL. Comes in this box, it's plastic, nice box, nice packaging, great job. But I'm not going to focus on any of that stuff. What I want to say first off is that I ordered this from eSig Mafia and on a Wednesday night, so last Wednesday, and I received it Saturday morning. It was lightning fast shipping. I did pay for priority shipping, but literally they shipped it. It was sent off Thursday morning and arrived at my house in Chicago from Atlanta in, a little over a day from when it was shipped. So props for that. Fantastic service, quick, and really satisfied with the eSig Mafia for that. Also satisfied with their price. For the pod kit, an extra pod and 4 coils, plus priority shipping, 48 bucks. You can't beat that. Can't beat that. With that said, let's get into the actual pod. I'm an ex-smoker. I smoke 2.5 packs a day. I've been free of smoking for 9 weeks. I have played around with e-cigs for over a decade. I remember when they first came out, I was looking for Enjoys at Meyer gas stations, or I'm sorry, Meyer grocery stores and truck stations, like truck stops, the gas stations that were there. And I eventually did find one, and that was my first e-cigarette. And I've struggled with quitting smoking, and I hope this is the last time that I do. Things are a little bit different about why I quit this time around. We had complications with a pregnancy, and our son had a low-lying placenta, and both mom and I are, we're heavy smokers, and pretty sure that's why that complication arose. So I quit, and it's hard, but it's devices like this that make it so much easier, and I highly recommend anybody on the fence about quitting, or anybody that is vaping and kind of finds it maybe a little too complicated, a little too hard, a little too much maintenance, to definitely try something like this out. Okay. I had I had a 200 watt box mod that was just laying around collecting dust, and I picked up a Fire Loop 2 tank 9 weeks ago, and it was amazing. My stepdaughter dropped it and it broke, and I went and I researched and found this, the RPM 80 by Smock, and it was, as soon as I kind of vaped on that, I was like, wow, I really like this. There's elements of this that I like very much. It's just the main problem here is, you can see it leaks. I drained this, and it still leaked everywhere. Here's a bit of an up close of all the fingerprints that you can kind of see on it from the coil leaking out. It actually leaked onto my desk, my workstation, and that's pretty crucial for somebody that's teaching online classes during this pandemic. And also, I don't want anything like this anywhere near any of my equipment, my graphic design equipment. So as you can see, with this Smock RPM 80, it had to go. It really did. The next vape that I tried was actually an original style Caliburn, like the stick style Caliburn, or pen style. I don't even know what you would call it, stick style, I would say. And I was blown away by the flavor, so blown away that I needed another device. I tried the cocoa. I now exclusively use cocoa coils for them. Love the auto draw. Love the simplicity of this device. I can wear it around my neck if I want, hide it underneath my shirt. It's not gonna leak. Great throat hit. There's really not much at all bad to say about the Caliburn. And it, you know, the only problem is you have that micro USB charging and then a small battery. This is not enough to satisfy the urges of an ex-smoker, you know, all day, unless you are tethered to some kind of charging device or a battery pack in your pocket that is plugged into. That's not simple. The reason I've always went back to smoking is because smoking's simple. I can ask somebody, can I have a cigarette? I can go to the gas station, buy a pack of cigarettes and a lighter, and just simple, done. That's ultimately why I've always went back to smoking. I bought 3 of these, you know, to rotate, and they're my favorite vapes, really. I mean, I've tried the Vaporesso XROS. I have a Smock Nord X. Like I said, I do have you know, my box mod, and I picked up things like gem disposable tanks. I used to play with rebuilding, but it's just not something I'm interested in anymore, or at this point. God, I mean, I know I've tried other devices, but the Caliburn, I think, is probably the best flavor, you know, for the needs of me as a ex-smoker wanting a tight, or well, it's kind of an airy mouth-along draw with a lot of flavor, until I got this guy, the Valyrian pod. It's really, really good. You know, again, that's the sweet spot for me right there. The airflow closed off to about, or closed off 3/4 of the way to about 1/4. Oh, really simple to just flip that back and forth. And it's on the 1 ohm coil. Stellar. Great flavor, good throat hit, warm vape. There's really no downside to the flavor. It's better than the Caliburn. It's better than the Caliburn in terms of flavor, 100%. The Caliburn's good, and you know, like, it does kind of have its own taste to it, but this is better. It really is. The only problem is no USB Type-C charging, and you know, the fact that it's not draw activated. That's the one thing that I wish this device had. Draw activation. Again, coming from an ex-smoker, simple. Like, that's what we need. We need simple mods, simple devices to use that are going to keep us from going back to burning cancer sticks, right? But you know, the pros to this obviously are the top fill, and something I didn't see in other reviews, or at least maybe I just didn't notice, there's a rubber gasket there in that fill port that your needle kind of goes into. There's no way anything's gonna drip out. I actually was pretty much violently shaking this thing to see if I could get any, you know, like, vapor out of it with it opened up, or I'm sorry, any juice out of this with it opened up. Couldn't do it. Great device, great build quality. If I open it up and I show you guys where the coil's at. This thing is just, there's something about it. I doubt it's gonna leak. There's just no space. There's no room for this coil to leak. I mean, I guess that could just be wishful thinking, knowing how some of these pod systems are, you know, after you get going on them. But, you know, the fact that this thing, I don't have to worry about finding that sweet spot in wattage, you know, compounded with, you know, finding the right airflow as well, just makes it such a simple, easy vape for somebody that is trying to quit smoking or continue their success in not smoking, right? Pretty device too, really. One of the studio classes I teach is in printmaking, so I'm kind of partial to the ghosted, you know, engraving that's on here. I don't really like the VLRN, but it is what it is. Design professor. It's still really pretty. With that said, I'm gonna pop the other coil into it. It's the 0.6, what they're calling a direct lung coil. I guess when it's fully opened up, you could call this a direct lung hit. Pretty restricted, pretty tight. But here, I'll do that. Warm. Lots and lots of flavor. Good cloud production. There's really not much of a drawback to that, and it even satisfies a lot of my craving for that kind of like thick fog, you know, that you get from like rebuildable coils and everything, and big like sub-ohm coils, like, you know, now I mean they've got like the 0.1 like mesh coils, and you know, it's crazy the kind of vapor production you get out of those, but they all tend to be cool, whereas with the Valyrian at 0.6 it's still a warm vape. Now I closed off the airflow very similarly, maybe even a little bit more. I mean, there's not much airflow left in this thing, but now I'm gonna try a mouth to lung hit. That's good. I mean, it's so warm and so dense that it actually kind of hurts my lungs a little bit. So it's not exactly the smoothest if you're gonna try and vape this mouth to lung. And I also kind of wonder, by closing off all the airflow, if you're gonna stress those coils a bit, you know, leave them. I don't know. It's, you know, something about it, or something about it tells me, like, if you want this, just open the pot all the way up, open up the airflow all the way, and you'll get your nice kind of cloud production, and again, like, you'll fill your lungs with vapor when you use this, and you could chain vape it too. Trying just direct lung. It's hard for me to direct lung now. The coil's taking it. There's even a solid ramp up of flavor, I'd say, too, with this. Again, guys, when it comes to trying to be successful when it comes to quitting smoking, I highly recommend this device. You know, if you're having a bad day and you're thinking about going and buying a pack of cigarettes, my advice to you is going to be to just go to your local vape shop. They should be readily available. I mean, UWELL is such a popular brand that I'd imagine Every vape shop's going to have these, and they're going to have replacement pods and replacement coils. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what they'll be at retail, like 30, 40 bucks. Spend that money on this before you spend it on packs of cigarettes. It's totally worth it. I think you're going to enjoy it. I've never done any of these reviews before. I'm also a professor, so I talk a lot. I don't care about the technical specs. All I care about is the fact that this thing has kept me from picking up a pack of cigarettes another day, and I see it keeping me from smoking, or at least helping me not smoke for a lot longer than that. I think it's a great investment.